Okay, welcome Pat Stay to Nervous Rex. What's up, doggy?
What's up, bro? How you been?
I'm chilling. You drink? Oh, you're a coffee guy. You're drinking coffee.
Well, it's early. It's early. It's noon. So I mean, I got up about an hour ago, so I needed a coffee.
I,
What time is it work at?
I'm not. It's eight. Well, it's 8:15 in the morning here. So I'm an early dude lately because of the quarantine life. Like I'm 45 years old, so I go to bed at 9:30 now. I'm that dude. So I'm up at 5:30, dog. I'm that guy now.
You know what? I need to start doing that. I'm jealous of people that do that because you know what I mean. To be honest, like even because I was justifying it by staying up late by saying, well, at least I'm still working until like 2 or 3 in the morning because I was doing great lives and I was doing other shit like that. But at the end of the day, I miss so much time with my son when I wake up at like noon, and I like to spend more time with my son.
Okay, so let's talk about that real quick. What's dad life like in the quarantine? Because I got some of my homies that got kids, and I'll just say it like this: maybe they didn't do the best job raising their kids, and now that they're stuck with them for 2 months, they're like, I hate my fucking kid. It's fucked up.
Well, I mean, I guess I'm lucky to have my girl because she takes on a big part too. But I mean, I can't really relate with that because no, I love every second with him, and I'm in such crazy love with my son. I love him so much. I love every moment. But I can't really I can't say because like I said, my girl takes him for at least she's with him more than half of the time. So if I was with him 100% of the time, who knows? Maybe I would be getting a little frustrated too. But me personally, man, like it's breathtaking every day, hanging with my son, wrestling with my son, playing with my son. I love every minute with him, man.
Yeah, you seem like you're a happy dad. Like you seem like a good dad. I could just see from like looking at the gram and just how proud you are. I remember like it's me and you never really kicked it in person. Yeah, we've hung out in person a couple times, but really we just kind of know each other through the battle rap scene. And I follow, I see you on the actually I don't follow you. I lied. I unfollowed 700 people about a year ago because I just hit the wall with Instagram. So now I'll just check in on people. But I remember when you had your kid, you just seemed like you have this persona of this tough, big dude, but then when you're with your kid, you can see that you're like a good guy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. No, I mean, they say a child will make any man soft. So I
Well,
think
a child will make me hard. But anyway, I don't want.
Yeah.
Like that.
Oh man, no, but you know what? I think everyone just it didn't make me soft. Truth is, I was always just a big fucking nice guy, and that other shit was probably just some type of defense mechanism. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you're 6'5" and got a bunch of tattoos, fucking, and people look at you a certain way, sometimes maybe you embody this character that everyone looks at you like anyways. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe that was it, but.
Yeah, no, you definitely run with it and it works for you, but you also see and let me go because people are so politically correct today. Don't want conspiracy theorists to think I'm in a Tom Hanks, Ellen DeGeneres pedophile ring. I was just kidding because with Pat Stay, I'm allowed to talk. If for those of you guys listening that don't know who Pat Stay is, when you finish listening to this podcast, go to YouTube and just search Pat Stay versus anybody, and you will understand why I'm allowed to say what I say with Pat Stay. I feel like the gloves are off. We can say anything we want, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. See, here's my thing. I'll be real, man. You're like top 3 battle rappers of I'm gonna say of all time, in my opinion. You can't beat a funny white dude who could beat you up.
Yeah.
Straight up. And there's nobody, even like these gangster dudes that come at you. It's almost like 8 Mile in the weird way, the psychology of like how Eminem can't be beat when he's just like a white boy going into an all black environment like that, who could spit, who got game, and who's tough and could back it up. Dog, it's like you win no matter what.
Yeah, I think I appreciate that, and I do agree that works. It's I'm lucky that I'm not just good on with the funny shit, but also big because
Right.
that it definitely helps. It definitely helps in that environment, man. And and I also think when I learned, you said I used to carry myself and more tougher or whatever, and now that my son, I actually think that kind of like revealed a superpower with me too, man, because I let all my guards down, my defense. I'm so much less bothered by shit, and I'm open to maybe you know, trying things in battles that I wouldn't, because before I'd be like, oh, that's soft or whatever. Now I just go up there and float and have fun, and it seems like the less I try, in a way, the better I do. It seems more natural. I think I actually like to think my son really did bring all this shit out of me, man.
Man, that's crazy, because like I want kids really bad, but I have a hard time with maintaining relationships with women, and all the girls I meet in LA, they're not really mom types, right? I live in like the Hollywood world, and most of the women that you encounter, they're all in LA trying to make it, and it's like you don't look at that girl and be like, that's the mother of my child, right? So it's kind of like I lived this whole party lifestyle for so long. Now I'm 45 and the clock's ticking. It's like, look, you know, realistically, I could pop one out. As a dude, we're lucky. You could pop out a kid in your 40s, even early 50s. It's more like you need a younger woman. Thank God I like younger women. But like, that's the one thing I feel I'm missing out on, that I see with all my friends with kids, is that what the thing you're talking about right there, like it changes you, right? Like that's just got to be the most powerful shit in the world. Like it disarms you in so many ways.
Well, I think you already. I mean, I don't like, you got it. You got it, man. You did it. You fucking did it.
I'm doing it.
Fucking doing it. You're doing it right now. I see that with my own eyes. You know, you're doing it.
Come on.
You're doing it with other kid, man. You're doing it. You know what I mean? But fucking yeah. Luckily, as a man, you can pop one out at fucking 50. My girl's stepdad did it in his late 40s, and fucking so whenever you want, man. It is what it is. Me, I felt like I needed it to kind of put me in line, and sometimes people need that. You know what I mean? I sometimes I talk to people who are fucking, their lives are going crazy. You know, they're just crazy on drugs or doing crazy stuff in the streets. I'm like, bro, like, you need to have a kid. Some people just need to put them in line. You know, other people got their shit straight, and you don't really need one, man. You're fucking doing it.
Yeah, I'm doing that. But like, seriously, like I feel that's the one thing missing. Like everything's so great. I got the best life. It's a cakewalk for me. Everything's blessed. But that's the one thing I'm missing. I got a girlfriend now. She's 29 years old, and she's more like a mom type. You know, she's not in LA. She lives up in Santa Cruz. Like she works and, you know, she goes to college, and she's a therapist, and she's just like a good person. But for all these years before that, I was just kind of party boy. And so it never really happened. But that's definitely something that I know would be the same thing for me. Luckily, oh shit, are you taking a piss?
No, I was taking the thing off my phone so you could hear the audio better. Okay. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, it sounds crispy. Anyway, enough about me. Let's talk some more battle rap shit. Okay, so I'm a battle rap nerd, right? I've been a fan. Me and Andy Melanakis have been battle rap nerds since like grind time days. Since even before you were around. I remember you forgive me, when you battled your homie, the Canadian dude, your best friend back in the day.
Oh, Holohan.
Okay, so that was like the first time I seen you, and that battle was really crazy because it was you versus a friend, so you could tell there was a history. There was like, you guys were getting mad personal, and it was like, he wasn't, no disrespect, but like he couldn't fuck with you on the battle rap like skill level, but the personal shit was like, oh damn, there's a story behind this shit, right? So that was the first time I seen you, and at that point, me and Melanakis had already been like doing grind time spoof battles. I don't know if you saw, me and him battled Frank Stacks and El Money with Lush One in the alleyway and Dirtbag. Like that was our soap opera for years, right? And so I feel like, I don't know if I outgrew it, but I don't have the same like zest for battle rap as I used to. I feel like anything in life, the more corporate it gets and the more popular it gets, the more it loses me. Like anything, it happens with like anything. Like when I was a kid with wrestling, or like, you know. So do you still stay inspired? Are you still in it like you were years ago? Or are you still like, you know?
To be totally honest, and I shouldn't say this type of stuff, because I remember Organic said I shouldn't, because I lose fans from it. But no, I'm not as inspired. I'm not as into it as I used to. And fans get mad at that. They're like, what the fuck, man? We're so invested in you, and you just don't give a shit. But I care. But no, man, I totally understand where you're coming from. You know, you don't know how many people I talk to that are like, dude, I just can't watch battle rap anymore. And it's a few things. Like, first of all, a battle now is like an hour and a half.
It's too much.
Who the fuck has time to watch the Titanic 6 times in one fucking day? You know what I mean?
Who's gonna, so that really feels like URL, or sometimes organic lets it go too long. I feel like somebody needs to really set a fucking time limit, dude. I remember back in the day, I forget the name of the league. It was New York, 1 minute rounds.
1 minute.
1 minute. And that was like, dude, you had to get it in, dude. And they cut you off 1 minute. It was like, damn, dude, that's might be too short, but like no more than 10 minutes around, dude.
10 minutes. Like, oh my God, bro. Like, it should be like, it should be
5 minutes. Yeah. 10 minutes per person.
I think, 5 minutes of battle. Yeah, yeah. I thought you meant 10 minutes a whole round.
No, okay, no, like 10 minutes, you and your opponent, total 10 minutes, 5 minutes for you. And even that's long. Like, damn, you know, it's like a song and a half. It shouldn't be longer than a song, you know?
Exactly. Also, like, it made people, there's so many reasons why it made people not try as much. Okay, for one, they're not judged anymore. So it's like, oh, I don't even have to, I can do what I want. My fans are still going to say I win. And when I leave and someone's like, hey, did you win? I'm like, yeah, sure did. You know what I mean? It's just like, they just say they won. Also, with these long time limits, usually people don't, I know this is weird, but usually people don't have like a proper ender, because it's so long, it doesn't matter when you end. It's just like, all right, time, Jersey, just say whatever, right? But when you have 1 minute and it's all condensed like that, you have to have like a build up, you know, all the, and then a fire ender. It's almost like a story. Whereas if you're rapping for 8 minutes, some people rap for 25 minutes. It's like, dude, like, how do you even write an hour's worth of shit about this man? Like, what the fuck? But the leagues are laughing because they really get 30 battles out of someone in one battle nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. I guess it's good for them, and like, you know, it's, you know what, and let me go backwards a little bit, because I'm not mad at all that it blew up. Like, I'm so happy to watch what Organic did, and to see Lush and all the homies like make something that was a backyard grimy little thing into something corporate with big sponsorships. I'm proud. Like, I get it. It's dope. Like, it's fucking like cool to see them make money and come up and all that. But just as a fan, I don't know why, but I like it when it's grimier and it doesn't have a corporate like thing behind it. And that goes for anything in life, not just battle rap. But when anything gets too popular and corporate, it loses that thing, like that thing that, and especially battle rap is something that should be done in an alleyway where you feel like the dudes are about to fight or something. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So
I also want to say, man, I want to clear it up, like, in case, I still do love battle rap, and I've always been this way, back and forth with it. Like, oh, I don't like it, it's fucking whack, and then, you know, I fall in love with it as soon as I jump on that stage or enter and I happen to be one of the best at it, you know. So it's something I'll always love. But yeah, I don't want to make it seem like I don't give a fuck about it, because I definitely do. I'm definitely really a stamp in the culture, and it's definitely made me who I am today. It's the reason why we're talking right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. It's been a blessing for you. And I'm not dissing it either. I'm just saying, for whatever reason, I find myself getting less excited. Like me and Alchemist always, like, Alchemist gets mad at me that I'm not as into it anymore. Like, oh man, you fell off, you sold out. Like, you know, I'm just like, yeah, I'm sorry, I can't fake it. Like, if you're battling, if Hollow's, there's a handful of people that if they're battling, I got to see it. I still want to see, I still like Big K. I still like there's a handful. But for the most part, I can't even keep up with these new cats. Like, I don't find myself wanting to see if there's some new dude. Like, there's nobody that's making me just be like, oh, I'm counting down the days for this one. Is there any new battle rappers out there that you fuck with? Like, who should I check out that's new on the scene?
You should definitely check out New Jersey Twerk.
Yeah, that's what Al says, yeah.
He's electrifying, dude. He is electrifying. He's amazing, right? The problem is with a lot of other people is right now, everyone is kind of rapping the same. Like, there's literally like 10 to 15 people that not only rap the same shit, but like the same cadence, the same voice projection, the same everything. And it's kind of like the new wave to do that. So even a lot of the new cats, it's like, oh, so what is different between this guy other than his physical features? Like, you guys rap the exact same, you know what I mean? Right. And I think that's why I was able to come and clean house in URL, because, you know, there's a bunch of guys, a lot, not everyone is the same there, but there's a lot of people that rap the same, just nowadays in general. And then I come in and I start telling jokes, for a lot of jokes, which barely happens over there. and it comes off super well because it's kind of almost like relieving for them. It's like, oh, you know, I mean, I get to finally laugh. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it works in my favor that people are, you know, kind of be copying.
Well, and the thing is, they're yelling so loud and they're so angry, and you're so calm and collective. You're just like, you're laughing at them, and then you kill them with a joke, and you're not even like sweating it or raising your voice. It's like that wins every time. Like, it's like sometimes they just come off too angry, and it's just like, I don't know, something about the angry rapper that's yelling for too long, it loses me. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, I feel I'm definitely a comedian guy, so I'm definitely rolling with the comedy shit way more. And you know what else is crazy too? For you to go into a room of brothers in URL. URL, for people listening, is the Ultimate Rap League, right? That's what it stands for?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ultimate Rap League, which is, you know, that and King of the Dot, which is a Canadian league, are probably the two biggest leagues, right? There's some other leagues like, I can't remember the names right now, but those are the two big ones, right? Those are the main ones you want to be on the card. For like a brother to go to Canada in front of a bunch of white nerds and kill it, yeah, that's cool. They're gonna laugh anyway because they're just like, oh, he's an American tough black guy. But for you to go into the hood, dog, there's nothing more powerful. You know what I mean? That's just like to have, just because I grew up in the Bay Area, making all the homies laugh, like in high school. There was something magical about, like, if you could win the brothers over, you're really cool. You know what I mean? Like,
I love how honest and real you are, man. Because a lot of people dodge around that type of shit. A lot of people won't even say that. They won't even say the first thing you said, like, my brother goes to Canada and the white guy's gonna laugh anyways because they're just like, oh, because they're just like excited that they're like, oh, we got a black American guy, he's automatically top. And that's how a lot of the nerdy guys think. But it's true. Also, another thing. It is true, like, you know, as a comedian, like, you know, you do comedy shit. The funniest people are like predominantly black guys, you know what I mean? And in rap, the best guys are predominantly black guys. So yeah, it's like an achievement when we get a lot of these guys. We're like, okay, you fucking with the white boy, eh? You know, it's dope. It's really cool. You know what I mean?
yeah, because I grew up wanting to be black. I did rapping. I grew up, you know, Oakland, San Francisco, like all the coolest dudes were black. I went through my wanting to be black phase. I went through my wanting to be Mexican phase. Now I want to be Asian, which is really weird. So, and I've been going to Asia lately. I'm like, oh, Asians are dope. It's like anything but my corny white ass. You know what I mean? But I'm actually Jewish, which is Jewish people and black people are kind of similar because we've had struggle and we got big dicks and we've been oppressed. But that's a whole different conversation.
I didn't know you were Jewish.
Yeah, I'm Jewish. Yeah. What are you made out of? Let me guess. You're like Nordic because you're from like you're from the northeast of Canada. You're a tall Caucasian man. You're probably like some type of like Irish, Scottish, Scandinavian or some shit.
Pretty much.
Nice. So I'm not racist, right? I could say that.
Yeah, no, I'm a mix between it all, man. Viking, all that shit, you know?
Yeah, you got a Viking vibe about you, just genetically. What about Frank Stacks? I feel like, and I'm not just saying this because Frank Stacks is my homie, but I feel like Frank Stacks was one of the first funny white boys to be on the scene that you're like, oh, you can't beat this dude. He's like funny white boy with bars who's just gonna do like almost racist, but funny to where you could get it's a very fine line when you're like he said to Surgeon General, that you're not even a black dude. This is some whack rap dude with a full body tattoo of a black dude or something like that. And like, this was 12 years ago. Like now it's so politically correct. You might not be able to get away with that. But like, I feel like the brothers appreciate when a white boy comes like that because they're like, thank you, man. Just like say it. What? Like, you know, it's not, we're having fun.
They love it. They love it. Some of them don't. Like, you know, I've been booed before for some of the shit I said recently. But I've been like, I've got like a damn near standing ovation for saying what the fuck I want and then be like, yo, I'm the only white boy who ain't scared to clap back. And they're just like, yeah, they love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They love it. Yeah. You know, I'll be honest, when I started seeing Frank Stacks, I wasn't that big of a fan until I think I started chatting with him and I understood him a little bit more, but I did like him. I did think he was funny for sure. But I felt like I was just like, I won't even lie. Like he's mad cool. I talk to him and shit like that sometimes. But I was like, is this guy rapping or is he like freestyling? Or I didn't know what he was doing, if he was rapping at all. But I had to kind of wrap my head around it. I'm just being honest. I did like him. He did have some funny ass shit. But
he's only got like 5 battles. He doesn't have a lot of battles up. It was just that he was one of the first funny white dude, and Cadillac Ron, rest in peace. Cadillac Ron would go in. I mean, he would actually say some shit that, like, I remember a couple of his shit was like, yo, you might get beat up right now because you're actually crossing that line. Like, he didn't give a fuck.
When he battled, they took it down. Remember when he battled unorthodox phrases? Do you remember his whole battle? He's like, yeah, my ancestors had your people too. Like the whole battle.
Dude. Yeah, he's like, I'll dig up like your grave of your. Oh, dude, I forgot about that one. Yeah, he crossed the line, dude. Like, and I'm not even saying I'm offended, but I was like for him because he was my boy. Like, it was like, yo, he didn't give a fuck, and he looked like he was a prison Aryan dude, like a biker. You know what I'm saying? Like, It's crazy.
And in the end, he tried to like wrap it up, which was really funny. I thought it was so funny. It's like, he goes, anyways, like this is, I'm paraphrasing or whatever. He's like, anyways, I just did that to shock you guys, but really, I don't hate one race. That's stupid to hate one race. I hate everyone. And everyone's like, oh, stop it.
Yeah. Damn, dude, Caddy Ron.
He's a legend, man. Rest in peace, man.
Yeah, he was a legend. And you know what's crazy? He actually made good music too. And I don't want to be like a dick here, but I feel like a lot of battle rappers, they can't really make great music. Like, they'll get on a beat and it doesn't necessarily ride the beat, because it's almost like I look at battle rappers like, and I'm not saying they're all funny, but it's almost like, you know, when you see a stand-up comedian and then they try to do a movie and you're like, oh, you're funny on stage, but you can't act. It's almost like some battle rappers will try to get on a track and it's like, oh man, you don't know how to ride the beat. You're better. Like battle rap is its own thing. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for a lot of rappers to make that transition. You actually sound good on a beat. What about, are you trying to still do like real rap shit, like for selling? Because no one's selling records anymore. You're better off just doing battle rap shit, you know?
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. No, you're right. I mean, a lot of battle rappers, what the problem is they try to battle rap on a beat. So it's like they're still talking about battle rap and they have like 16 double entendres like back to back within one bar. It's like, dude, that's not like music, dude. Like you need some type of vibe, man. You might as well just do that a cappella on stage, right? But as far as music, like me, I'll just do it once in a while, like when I have, you know, something I want to speak on, because, you know, if it was up to me, I would have way rather lived off music and did that, because I get way more satisfaction off music than battle rap. But it doesn't pay like other shit does. So it's just really like a once in a while hobby for me.
Right. And what about, like, I feel like the acting stuff, you're one of the few dudes who like actually could act, and you're funny. I remember you had me shoot a little thing on my phone for that little short film you did. And then there was that one skit you did where you're meeting your sister's boyfriend and you're just like the tough brother, and I think you said you improv the whole thing. It was just all improv. Yeah. Dog, listen to me. I've been in acting schools. I've been in fucking like on movie sets, TV shows. Watching you in that little 5-minute thing improv, I'm like, he improv that? I was like, dog, you're a natural. Like, you could be a fucking actor, you know?
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, for real. Do you want to do that?
Oh, I would love to, dude. I just, you know, I just need to branch out more, man. It was that was really funny. It was only like a minute and a half or something, but this guy that was around, he's like that in person. He was very nervous, just like in the video, very nervous guy, and he's nervous to talk to me, and I would just like interrogate him all the time and ask him questions. I'd be like, yeah, so, you know, ask him like what kind of porn he likes and like all this type of shit. He's just really like whatever. And I was like, yo, we need to shoot a conversation with me and this guy. She's gonna play my sister, set the cameras up in this room, and we'll just fucking go. And we chopped it up a bit to make it funnier because he didn't know how to react. I'd ask him a question, he'd be like, and I'd be like, whatever, we'll put that in there somewhere. And somehow we laughed and we're like, oh, that's not gonna be funny. And then we just put the editing together, and next thing you know, it fucking ended up being really funny because that guy is just like the real, like, he's just some kid that works at McDonald's and has really, really bad social anxiety, and it just works out so much.
Yeah, it worked. You could tell he just looked shook, but it was just I'm just saying, like, I've been around people who like do acting and they didn't have what you have naturally. I don't think you could learn that. I think you either got that in you or you don't. You know, I even went to like comedy classes in New York where people would like go to, it's called like Gotham City Improv, where you go to improv class where people would come to try to learn to be funny. And I remember thinking like, motherfucker, you ain't gonna learn to be funny. You either got that in you, you either got that in your strut, you either got that because comedy is rhythm and timing also. It's like it's like music or battle rap. You need to have a flow. It's like if you don't got that in your DNA, I don't think you learn that shit. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Like it's either in you or it's not.
Absolutely. I'm surprised. I never knew that you could take a class to be funny. I thought you just had to be funny, and then like from other comedians as you watch them and shit.
Well, I think they were just taking people's money because I just went to try. Like I was living in New York back in the 90s and I was just like, let me try improv class and see. And it was cool. Like you learn some shit, but I remember just thinking like, these dudes ain't funny. I know my homeboy in my building's funnier than these people, you know? What about,
I got a quick question. I got a quick question for you. Are you the funniest guy in your group? Because I'm definitely not I have friends way funnier than me.
Oh, dude, no way. I got homies of mine who no one will ever see. I'm actually starting to put them on my podcast because I got some motherfuckers in my life who I got my whole shit from, who've molded my sense of humor. Like my homies in the Bay I grew up with, you know, I'm always surrounded by the most charismatic, funny motherfuckers that I'm like, dog, you need to get on stage and be a stand-up comedian. I got some homies of mine in Oakland that are just brothers from Oakland that I'm like, you are a fucking star. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all I'm surrounded by. But unfortunately, they'll never even want to get on stage. They just like, nah, that shit ain't for me, which is why they're the fucking best. They don't want to be famous, you know?
No, I get it, man.
I told you Eminem fucks with you, right? I think I DM'd you Eminem likes you, right?
Yeah, I jerked off to that, man. I didn't know if you were trolling. I don't know. I didn't know if you were trolling me or not.
No, that was real. Maybe I shouldn't be saying this. Like I even thought maybe I shouldn't even be telling you this because it's like, I don't want to be gossipy or whatever. But I was like, dog, if somebody was to know that Eminem fucked with me and didn't tell me, I'd be pissed. And I remember Alchemist was on tour because he's Eminem's DJ. And I told you, he was a big battle rap fan like me. And I think, you know, it's Eminem. He started the whole battle rap, like white boy fucking thing 20 years ago. I don't know how it happened, but Al showed him your shit and he was like, that's my favorite dude right there. That's crazy, bro. You win.
Amazing. Yeah, that's climax.
Like you would have never known if I didn't tell you. I was like, I gotta tell this fool. I don't care if Al gets pissed. Like he's gotta know. And now I'm saying on the podcast, I hope it doesn't come back to. I hope Al ain't pissed at me, but whatever.
Nah. I posted it before.
Did you post it? That's dope. Oh,
I just said, sorry, yeah, I posted that, yeah. So people could have been like, okay, big deal. There's no proof. Pat's just making that up. And then in the back of my mind, I was like, I wonder if Simon's fucking nudging his buddy like, you fucking believe that? And dipshit.
Nah, that was real. All right, so is there any battle rapper that you honestly would be like, I don't know if I want to battle this dude, or are you not afraid of anybody? I mean, who is out there?
I mean, I think there's a lot of people that, like, I don't think I'm the best, but I think I can beat anyone. And I also don't think anyone's better than me.
Right.
And that's the general consensus now, like in battle rap, like that, you know, I'm one of the top threats or whatever. But I think there's a lot of people that could probably beat me, but they're not necessarily better. Like we're on the same level. It just really depends on who would have a better day. New Jersey Twerk would be one of them if he's on his A game, which a lot of the time he's not because he's not that inspired. K Shine will be my next opponent. He's really, really dope and he tries very hard. So, you know, I could lose to him. Other than that, to be honest, man, I think that I'll pretty much smoke everybody. And you know me, man, I'm not like a battle rap like fanatic where I'm just like, I'm the best. I actually do believe that. Like I do it pretty easily. So it makes me think like, you know, it's not going to be easy to take me out, you know?
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. And it's like, you got to think that way. You know, once you start like losing that confidence, that'll show on stage in a heartbeat. You got to keep that swagger. Who of all your battles, like if anyone who's listening to this doesn't know much about battle rap or has never seen you, what's the one battle that I should show people that's your like proudest battle? You're like, yeah, that's my shit.
Well, it would be a preference thing. So since like, you know, people know you for you know, you're funny and your comedy, all that type of shit, I would probably say for your crowd, it would be the compliment battle with Rome.
Yeah, that shit was hilarious.
Yeah, so that's one of my favorite ones. But like, just say the audience was not into that type of shit. They're more aggressive. There's man, my Shotgun Suge one is pretty good. If you're a really sick, twisted person, you can watch my Marv One battle, but don't judge me for it. I was young.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's pretty evil.
Yeah, that's, you know, yeah, because usually you come, you know, you could come off, I remember, yeah, I can't remember exactly when, there's been so many over the years, but there's some definitely where you come off more angry, but when you come off like just like funny and cool, there's no way to beat that. If you were to like match an angry dude with anger, that's actually could go against you, because it's just like, oh, you're just meeting them at that shit. It's the calm, collective, funny shit that I think it's unbeatable. There's no way you could beat that. And I'm not just saying that like, oh, I'm a white dude and it's funny. Like you could tell by the audience reaction that wins every time. And that must feel amazing. Like you know, I was in Scary Movie 3 where I played Eminem and I battled Fat Joe on stage, but the crowd was obviously a bunch of extras and they had to be like, oh, when I like had a bar. So I got to feel what it was like to be a fake battle rapper. I could only imagine that feeling, like when you write a bar a month ahead of time and you're like, oh, I know this shit's gonna land. And then when it hits, that must be like, that dopamine rush must be just like the shit, huh?
Yeah, man. Especially for funny stuff, it's so rewarding for funny shit. Like, I don't know why it is, because you know firsthand, it's hard to make people laugh, let alone an entire room full of aggressive, testosterone-filled, fart-faced guys looking for some gun bars, and you crack a joke, they're like, okay, that was funny, and they all just start laughing. You know what I mean? It's like, it's definitely super rewarding, man. Yeah, and when you're writing it, you're like, oh yeah, this one's gonna shake the room. And it's the simplest shit, man. It's the simplest shit that takes off, man. You can't think too deep into, especially a joke. It should be, you know, just let it go natural.
Yeah. So what's your writing process? You get an opponent, you do a little homework on them, you kind of see their battles, you see their weaknesses. You know, it's like you figure, oh, he's fat, I could do some fat bars. Oh, he's from this city. Like, how does it usually go when you're writing against an opponent? What's the process?
I like to pick people's personalities apart and like just certain characteristics and stuff like that. So I'll actually watch
Corona.
I'll watch the, yeah. Yeah. I'll watch their interviews and I'll just watch them. And I'll look for little insecurities or little ticks that they do or something that I notice about their personality that I can attack. That they would not expect anyone to point out. And then when I do it on stage, I can see it. And the reason why I'm able to do this is because a lot of the times it's just my own insecurities. Like for Daylight, for example, I watched him. Every video, he's getting naked. He's dressing up as this. He's doing everything you could imagine. But he never smiled and never laughed, ever. Never once. No one has ever seen his teeth. And so I was just like, I'm going to bring that up. I'm going to have a nice little segment about it. It's not going to get much reaction, but it's going to fuck with him big time. And the reason why I was able to do that, and this is just common sense, but, you know, I used to have fucked up teeth before I got braces. And I see the way, because I used to smile a certain way when I'm laughing. I'd be like, you know, cover your face or whatever. And that's what he would do. So little things like that, right? And that fucked with him. That fucked with him big time. The crowd was just like, oh, that's kind of funny. But him in his face, he's like, motherfucker. Like, you know, people thought he was invincible, the most like secure person ever until I pointed that out. So I'll look for little things that I recognize, like I know why he's doing this, I know why he's saying this, and then bring it out type shit. Or just be, you know, cliche and be like, yeah, he's fat, or yeah, he's this, and blah 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 blah, blah, right? But I think that I go into the psychology part before rap. So I don't watch their battles like, oh, I'm gonna say this type of rhyme, I'm like, I'm going to have this type of angle that's going to attack this. And I'm going to have this that's going to attack this. So I pick them apart as people way before rapping.
That's great, man. That's cool to hear. Like I never thought about that. That's such a dope way to like find someone's little fucking subtle nuanced things. And Daylight, that's another one that's like a beast, bro. He's like a genius, bro. He's like a genius. And what's funny is he doesn't need to do it. And it's all good. He's my boy. He doesn't need to do all the shenanigans, which is crazy. It's like he could be fine without the taking a shit on stage or the naked shit. It definitely makes his persona, like it works for him, you know, like he's doing something right. Like, but he's so dope, like that actually, it's almost like he's too smart for his own good with some of his shit. Like you'll have to really be like, when it's that over the top, like breaking shit down, you got to be like, oh wait, he meant that this, oh, I see what he was doing. Oh shit. It's almost like sometimes it's overdoing it. You know what I mean?
So like he's amazing. I think he's so great. He's actual star. But the question I ask is like, is some of that over the top stuff really smart, or is it not because you're not making it accessible? So it's like an underground artist that's like, oh, this mainstream shit, it's just so simple, it's so dumb, ABC shit. And it's like, well, then why can't you do it? Because you're making this shit too complex, so the masses can't understand it. So that's why I try to kind of like refrain from doing that type of shit, like write a bunch of shit that no one's gonna, like people don't have time to sit there and Google the shit. And sometimes you want to make it a little more accessible, but Daylight has his own pocket, and I don't think he should ever dumb his shit down, you know, quote unquote. Right. I think he's brilliant, man. I couldn't do what he does. I probably couldn't write like that even if I tried to be that complex. So I'm not, you know, downplaying his shit, but I kind of look at it a different way sometimes too. Because some people are like, Pat's so simple, or these guys are simple and these guys are the superior lyricists. I'm like, I don't know, man. I would rather have most of the people in the room understand what I'm saying. That's just me personally.
It is dumbing it down for the masses, unfortunately. I mean, you're talking to someone that I went platinum off a song called My Dick. I mean, does it get more dumb than that? Like, we literally brought it down to the most lowest common denominator. My dick, yo dick, like, and that shit sold 1 million copies. So it's like, that's crazy because it was as dumb as it could possibly be. It's not like metaphysical wizard fucking 4th chapter underneath it. It's like, that shit ain't for me. You know what I mean?
Is it smart? Or is it smart?
That's what, well, yeah, exactly.
Or is it smart because you're like, because you don't, you know, you don't think too deep into the shit. You just kind of say it. Like, I don't think that these mainstream guys that get on the radio, not, you know, for the most part, I don't think they're stupid people, just brain dead people like, oh, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I think they're smart. They're like, I know where to go with this to make it pop. And like, simplicity can be complex. Like, there's a lot of people that can't do that simple shit. Their brain won't even go there. It's not that they're too smart. It's just that they just can't access that. Like, I started off a battle, my first title match battle. I won the whole battle from the first round. I literally sat there and I said, my opening line, I said, Arcane. That's a hard name. And then boom, the whole fucking crowd explodes for like 20 seconds. His name was Arcane. I said, Arcane. That's a hard name. No one would ever say that because it's not funny. It's not even that funny. It's not smart. It's not complex. But it shut the shit down, and I literally won the battle right off rip from that. And so sometimes, like, the more simple shit, quote unquote, is smart in its own way because it's a certain plan of attack that you know what I mean. Am I making sense?
No, it makes sense because what you're doing is you're being considerate to the listener and the audience as opposed to overdoing it and making them have to work too hard. It's the same thing as we're talking about when the rounds go way too long. You're not being considerate to the audience. You're just thinking about yourself. You're just like jerking off to your own fucking, oh, I'm so smart, I'm saying all this shit. It's like, no, think about what the people you're doing this for, what do they want to hear? You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of self-serving. It's just like you're stroking your own ego as opposed to the whole point of why you're on stage is for them. It ain't about you really at the end of the day, you know? That's what it is. Same shit.
I'm sure Immortal Technique could write a smarter hook than Nate Dogg. Right.
But Nate Dogg's the one you're going to be listening to in your car, singing along with, and 20 years later, you're going to still have that shit in your head, you know?
Right.
Yeah, it's a trip. And like, I just remember a couple of your bars, like, You got some real clever shit. It ain't just funny. It's like you lying, man. Like those kind of bars that are just like so simple yet so like, and then there's like a part of your brain that like, oh, as a listener, you're like, oh, I figured it out. I get what he said. Oh shit. Like you need to give a little breathing room for that shit. If it's too much, you don't give the audience chance. You're just not thinking about the audience, you know?
Right. And some of the jokes, like the jokes are also well thought out too, because people are like, oh, it's jokes, it's not lyrical. Like, do you know how lyrical it is? Like, I hate to quote my own shit because I don't really care, but like, you know, when I battled Arsenal, I don't know the exact line, but I had this line about, you spell, you're a Crip, so you spell everything with the, BACC and suck my, DICC. You know what I mean? You know how Crip spell or whatever.
Right. Yeah, I was a Crip for many years. I spelled like I'm just kidding.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just like I was kind of along the lines like, we can create this app, man, and as soon as you type in the K, it just automatically goes to C, and we'll call it Decrypted, and like it was just, it was huge, you know what I mean?
Right,
but it's actually smart. It's smart. It's not like a hey poopy pants, you're fat, you know what I mean? It's like well thought out, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I think that's why you're one of the top dudes, is because it's like you're smart enough to think about it's smart, it's funny, and you're giving the audience a chance to figure the shit out, Hollow's one of my favorite battle rappers too. And it's funny because he could go from super high energy to really like his range. He's like, he's one of the masters. I mean, arguably, a lot of people say he's in the hood, he's like the dude, it's you, him. There's the conversation about who's the top dude like ever is a pretty small group of dudes. It's cool. You know what's crazy too, just made me think of it, is like Sharon, to see what Sharon did in I Love You Guys relationship. It's almost like I don't know how you guys know each other. Obviously you're both from Canada. Like I don't know if he's from
sex.
Is he from your hood?
No, we had sex.
Who was the bottom?
Him.
Hey, he's it's funny to watch his career because like obviously, and it's cool. I know Sharon. He's come to my shows up in Saskatoon or wherever the fuck I was. I can't remember. I did a tour in Canada once and he came through and he had bad breath. I remember that much. And he was the best. He's like obviously it's all good. He's not a tough guy, but he took on this persona with the guns and I was like, where's he going with this? But somehow the hood loved it. How did he pull that shit off?
I think, listen, man, he's a friend of mine, and I'll tell him over and over. I hate when he does that shit. And I think that they kind of, it's more just entertainment for them. It's like kind of funny more so. If he drops a good gun bar, they're just like, they're not like, ooh, they're more for like, like,
right.
Cool, like that was creative. But, I think that he doesn't have to do that shit. I think he feels like he has to, but it's not only is it not believable, but it's almost like a mockery. So I tell him, I'm like, man, you're so talented that you don't even need to. I don't know if he pulls it off. Maybe he does. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe like maybe it works really well for him and they don't think like me or whatever. But I don't drop gun bars. It'd be very, very rare that I do. And it'd be a lot more believable if I did. So I don't know. I think he should kind of just stick to being, who he is, Sharon. Like he's so successful because of who he is. Like He's not on Wild 'N Out because he was for his tough gun bars. He's that nerdy little white kid that's really brilliant, the best freestyler ever, and I mean, he's a very talented guy. He's a brilliant dude, man. Never talked to him like he's done so much. Like not only is he a millionaire at 25, but he has like so much other shit going on for him.
Wait, how's he a millionaire? From what?
Oh, he's been a millionaire, man. He's been a millionaire. He's like, he's done a lot of shit. He's just really good at saving money, invested in certain shit stocks. He had a job where he was selling like natural gas shit to different different places, and just all these door to door jobs. And like he was going door to door for a long time and saving money and doing all this other shit. He's been a millionaire for a minute now, man.
Damn, Sharon might be the most paid battle rapper.
Oh, well, I know he doesn't get paid that much for battle rap.
Right, no, but I mean in life, just in general. His bank account's bigger than...
He's definitely the most paid battle rapper. No one got more money than Sharon. I wouldn't be surprised if he was at like 1.5 right now, probably maybe more. Like he's been had a lot of money.
Good for you, Sharon.
Smart as hell with his money.
Good for you, Sharon. I feel like you, Roan, Sharon, there's a handful of you guys that are like, and I'm just gonna say it, like the dope white boys that kill it. You know, in my book, Frank Stacks, there's a handful of you guys that it's just really cool. Like again, it's not even a racial thing, but it's just cool to. It's almost like when there's a good white basketball player, you're like, oh, we got one in there. You know, we got like, it's like when
absolutely
like White Chocolate, which they would never call him anymore. I think it was not Jason Williams, but I can't remember his name. But when there's like a good white baller, it's like we got one in there. You know, it's just like a weird primal thing. You know, it's not racist. It's just real.
Absolutely, dude. I can't stand when people won't admit that type of shit, man. It's like, man, like I had this conversation at the barbershop, and I forget who was fighting. There was a fight, and they're like, a lot of the brothers are like, you know, I'm going for the black guy. I'm like, and we had the conversation. They're like, yeah, because he's one of us, man. Type of shit. It wasn't a racist thing. They're just like, man, it's not like we want to see a white guy get his ass kicked. It's just like, yo, like in the UFC, there's a lot of white dudes in there, whatever, and they just kind of wanted to. It's not like they hated a white person or whatever. It's just like yeah, man, just rooting for your people, man. I respect it, man, straight up.
Yeah, it's just like a tribal thing that's not even, you're not even thinking about it. It's just like a tribal thing. Like we humans are very tribal. Even if we were all the same color, we would find a way to have it be like us and them somehow. It's not even, it's just the whole, people get too sensitive. Like it's funny how a white person will be offended for a black person more than the black person will be like, don't be thinking for me. That shit's funny, dude. Or I get it. And then there's some white, like, fucking activist going, you can't say, it's like, shut the fuck up, you know?
Oh, dude, you're 100% right, man. Like when I was barbering, I would say the most ridiculous shit. And I was in a totally predominantly black. I was like the only white guy ever there. You know what I mean? And so I already know, but it's always the white guys or girls that never been in that type of environment, never grew up in that type of environment. They're like, hey, you should never use that word. I'm like, shut the fuck up, bro. Yeah. Like, you don't even know what you're talking about. You know, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's just how, man, that's how it is. And then social media don't help that when those people just get on there and fan the fire of that bullshit. It's so annoying. There's a podcast you should listen to. I'm going to send it to you. There's a podcast called Tuesdays with Stories, and it's these two comedians named Joe List and Mark Norman. And it's the most offensive podcast you will ever hear. The whole point of the podcast is they're doing like racist, sexist, over the top, but they're joking. They're comedians. Like, you won't believe the shit that they're saying in 2020, and it is fucking hilarious. Like, I'll send you one. This is your new, I just know your brain. This is your new favorite podcast because it's so ridiculous. It's like, they're not really racist. They're just talking shit. Like, come on.
Sometimes, I won't even lie. Sometimes it can be too far for me too. Like if I'm around a certain, like, but I'll never like say that comedians should ever like tone it down. They should be able to say whatever the fuck they want. But I won't lie. Sometimes on the race shit, like you can tell when someone's like going too far. Like I didn't like when Louis C.K. would constantly use the N-word with the ER. For some reason, it made me cringe. I don't like when I hear it at all. I don't like it at all. Like and he was doing it in a sneaky way to like get away with it. I don't like when people go so far with the race shit, and but at the end of the day, I don't think it's like, some people are just too touchy with it. You know what I'm saying?
And it's not what you say, it's how you say it. You could feel somebody's intention. Like if they're just being funny and fucking around, then it's one thing. But if you could feel somebody's got real hatred, like, oh, that shit ain't funny. And I know the joke you're talking about, that Louis C.K. bit. He said, that N-word made the shit out of my coffee. That was the joke about the barista, but he had the ER, and it was like, yo, you're a white redheaded dude. Like, and you know what's crazy? He's half Mexican, but no one knows that. Louis C.K. is half Mexican. So he halfway could get away with it because Hispanics could drop the N-bomb, right? That's a weird thing too, is Puerto Ricans in New York, Mexicans in LA, they could drop the N-bomb and all good. But if you're white with red hair, you can't put the ER at the end, bro. No. I know what you mean.
It a lot. Yeah. He was doing it a lot. I don't know if it was that one or another one, but anyways, there was one, but I do remember that one. But he said it so many times in one string that I was like, all right, dude, like, come on, man. Like, you know, like now you're just kind of saying it to say it, and it is what it is. I think he's a hilarious comedian. He's one of my favorite.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see his comeback. I heard his new special is hilarious because he's a funny motherfucker. Oh, I thought of a bar that someone should use. Maybe you want to use this one that I can't believe no one's used in battle rap. Because like I think with bars sometimes, that what if like, you know, something along these lines, you rewrite it or paraphrase it like, lately I've been growing up, I'm going inward. I'm never gonna drop the motherfucking N-word. Inward, N-word. Someone's got to use that.
Nice. You know, a battle rapper would make it, they would carry it on. They'd be like going N-word and N-word, and my name is Edward.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I'm not a battle rapper. I don't know. Did you ever see me and Andy Melanakis battle? It was like it's on Grind Time. You watched it? Oh, dude, that was great.
The gonorrhea. I love that.
Come on, man.
The car pulls up, man.
That was real. That was real. We were in East Oakland.
Yeah,
fucking hood. In the fucking hood. And I remember they were gonna what's his name? Blueberry Sausage Boy. What's the fucking dude's name that edits everything? Avocado. Avocado was gonna edit that out. I remember, we're like, no, dude, that's the gold. Leave that shit in. That was like, he was like holding his gold chain, and we were just like, yo, dude, this was too funny, bro. You couldn't have written that.
I'm trying to remember I almost remember his name. What was his name?
Debo, man. I'm Debo, or like Gbo or something
like that. Yeah. Yeah. He pulled up in I remember that. I loved that battle. It was awesome. Like,
yeah.
Oh fuck! I've watched that 100 times. It
was fake as fuck stage. We all wrote it together, but I think to this day it's Grind Time's highest rated. It's got like 99% approval rating. Let's end it with this. What was the battle rap movie we all just did again called? Bodied, man. That was cool to see a fucking battle rap movie with all the homies in it that actually was a good fucking movie. Like, I've done so many movies over the years that you go see it and you're just sitting there cringing like, man, this shit sucks. I don't even want my homies to see it. That was one of the few movies where I was like, yo, go see this shit. It came out dope. I think just to have the whole battle rap community that I'm a fan of and made friends with, get to see them on the big screen, like that was one of those moments where it was just like, wow, this shit, like dope for Joseph Kahn to spend his own money and make a passion project that came out dope. Like, were you happy with that movie?
Yeah, man, that was amazing, man. That was surreal to be a part of. I didn't even think when I was making, like when I went there, I didn't think it was really going to be anything. I had no idea. But in the end, no, man, super surreal, man. Like, I loved the movie. I love that everyone was in it. It's just like, it's just crazy to even think about even now, dude. Like, it was awesome as fuck, man. Shout out to Joseph Kahn for that, man. That's amazing, man. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, it put it on a whole nother, like that's where battle rap becoming mainstream actually worked for me as a fan. Like, not just because I played Lush One. Shout out to Lush One. You know, I think I did a pretty good job at playing a combination of Lush One and Dirt Nasty combined. It was just that dude. I've watched so many battle raps before that I knew exactly how to play Lush One and my version of him, but nobody could be Lush One. There's so many characters in this world that are just so real that you can't make the shit up. But the movie did a pretty good job of like putting all of them in this world. And it worked, man. It just worked. Eminem produced the shit. He came on board, was like, I fuck with this. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. At first, to be honest with you, man, when I got the call, I was skeptical. I was like, I don't know if I should play a skinhead. I don't know if it's going to be detrimental to my image, my career, whatever. And then I talked to my friend, Nino Bless. He's like, are you an idiot, man? Who gives a fuck? You think the guy from American History X is getting jumped out in the streets right now because of his role? It's a movie. I was like, yeah, you're right, man. And I did it. And, you know, some people are like, oh, Pat played a skinhead. I'm like, I don't know. Well, what did you play, asshole? Like, fuck
right.
You know?
I bet there was a lot of politics involved because every battle rapper wanted to be in there, but not everyone could be in it. I thought Sharon did a great job too. He got some good laughs. Like, he's fucking hilarious, like his little bit in there. And what's funny is that I think that was a parody of a moment that actually really happened, where a battle rapper came up out front of an LA event and started going, yo, I'm so-and-so. And he started battle rapping to someone. That was a parody of a real thing that happened. You know that?
Oh, I didn't even know that. That's hilarious.
And I forget the dude's name, dude, but I was one of I was one of 15 people that saw that moment happen. So this is what happened. Some battle rapper who was aspiring came up to an event, a King of the Dot event outside of an LA place on Sunset Boulevard I went to. And a battle rapper walks outside. I don't remember if it was Disaster or someone walks outside. And this dude comes up, this like kind of hipster looking black dude. I can't remember his fucking name right now. But he came up and he just started battling Disaster or whoever the rapper was leaving, like spitting bars.
Billy Boondocks. Billy
Yes.
Boondocks.
Yes. That's what that was a takeoff of. And I was like, yo, when I saw the movie, I was like, how the fuck is this in the movie? I was one of 15 people to watch that happen, uncomfortably watching that shit. That's how much like I'm integrated in the battle rap shit, like a nerd, that I was there for that fucking moment, dude.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I remember that too.
Yeah, because the word spread about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I read about it.
I was there when Disaster punched, what's his name? Math Hoffa too. And me and Madness were just standing against the wall and everyone spilled out and me and Madness are just elbowing each other going, this is great. And we just stand against the walls. Everyone freaked out and ran out. And I'm just like, I've seen plenty of fights. I'm not going nowhere. This is entertaining as shit. I couldn't believe that happened. And then I was wondering, I was like, did Disaster plan this shit? Because he's a smart dude and that's his whole character. I'm like, I don't know if that was like in the moment or the whole time he knew he was going to do some controversial shit.
I wonder too, you know, but you know, at first, I love Disaster, you know, he's a friend of mine and I never really talked to him too much about this, but when I watched the video, I seen, like when they started saying, I should punch you in the face, and he's like, look, and he's like, yeah, and he's stepping to the right, you know, he's like stepping over to get like the good swing in type shit, like he's stepping back. So I'm like, what? Either he made that quick decision right away, like, okay, I'm gonna hit him because of what he said, or I don't know, who knows? Maybe he was just. He said that there was prior shit that pissed him off so much, and he just kind of blacked out. So I don't know. I kind of think that it did good things and bad things for both of them, but you know, Math was known for punching people a lot and being a bully kind of thing. And I don't think that it made him like not tough anymore, but it probably like made him be like, all right, I understand why that shit's not cool now because this affected me, affected him. I don't want to be seen as this person, but you know, he has kids and Math's in such a great place now. I'm not saying Disaster put him there, but sometimes those shitty situations can make you be like, all right, man, like this isn't cool, man. You know?
Yeah, that was a weird moment because half of me was like, this sucks, that I don't want, you know, this sucks because it like puts a, no pun intended, a black eye on battle rap and it makes it like, oh, they can't throw these events or whatever. But then also part of me is like, look, you get two grown men spitting in each other's face, fucking 20 battles a night for years. Eventually, some shit's gonna happen, dude. Like I show some battles to some of my street homies and they're like, I can't even watch this shit because I'm like, punch that dude. You know what I mean? Like some, it's crazy disrespectful. It's going to happen eventually, you know?
Yeah.
But
100%, man.
Yeah. Hey, dude. Hey, thanks for your time, bro. It's good. Hank, this is the most we've ever hung out. Big fan. Keep doing your shit, bro. Get into more acting. If there's anything you ever need, dude, like I'm here. You want to shoot some shit in LA? Like when you're out here, let's shoot a skit, whatever you want to do.
Word, man. Hey, one question though. Will you come on my IG live sometime?
No way. I mean, yeah, of course, dog. Of course. Of course, bro. Whatever you need. Come on, I got you, bro. Let's do the IG live in the next few days, whenever's clever.
Sounds good, man. Thanks, brother.
All right, brother.
Take pride.
Be good. All right, be good. Peace.